Scene is the topic Alana Wills explores in this edition of 3 Minutes With.
I'm here with Adriano and Pina Ciotoli, who, thanks to them, when someone asks you where you want to go to eat, you can no longer say, I don't know. They created WindsorEats.ca, an innovative website that allows you to find information of hundreds of restaurants across Windsor, Essex. Thanks so much for being here today, guys.
Thanks for having us.
So you guys found success using the internet, combining it with food. What is your background in both of those areas?
Well, I'm Italian, so that's my food background. My mom's an amazing cook, and we've had a very fortunate upbringing in her introducing all those great Italian foods to us. Well, Adriano, as my brother, had the same upbringing.
Yeah, I mean, as far as background goes, I graduated from St. Clair in the computer systems technology program, branched off into networking, so it didn't really have too much of the web or digital focus too much, but I knew I always wanted to be in the food industry as well, and I had cut my finger pretty good. Wasn't really friends of sharp objects anymore, so that's why I branched off into the program that I did, and I saw an opportunity and jumped on it. That I knew I wanted to stay in Windsor but couldn't find a job, so I just decided to create my own.
And speaking of that opportunity, it's one of those ideas you think, why didn't I think of that? So how did you guys actually think of it and create it?
Well, this was all Adriano's idea. Like he said, he was looking for a job, had graduated from computer tech and couldn't really, at the time, 12 years ago, Windsor was kind of economically unstable. So he kind of created his own job, and he can probably explain.
Mastermind.
Well, it was every time my girlfriend at the time, but now my wife, every time we were trying to find a place to eat, it was, where do you want to go? And the same conversation everyone has. I don't know. How about you? Yeah, and every time, exactly. And we kept going to the same, like, 2 or 3 restaurants over and over and over again. But we knew Windsor had a lot more to offer. And every time we searched online, all the all the lists were all out of date. All they gave you was a phone number and the address, and they really didn't tell you much about what the restaurant was. So that's pretty much how it came about. Looking for a job, saw that as an opportunity, and put it all together.
That's amazing. So 12 years ago, Windsor did have good restaurants, but recently we're seeing this huge boom of restaurants in Windsor. It's getting known as a food kind of place. Why do you think Windsor food stands out against other places?
I think, well, over the last 12 years, we've kind of definitely seen it explode really into something really great and something that we're proud of, and we like to think we've had a help in kind of developing. I think what makes Windsor Foods great is its diversity. We have so many great cultures in our city, and it's reflected in the restaurants, and I think that's, for me, is what makes our restaurant scene unique and diverse, and I love it for that reason.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think Windsor is the 3rd or 4th most ethnically or multiculturally diverse city in Canada, and it shows, it's reflected in all the restaurants in the city, so that definitely helps that we have probably as many great cuisines as a larger city like Toronto or Montreal has, but in a small, 200,000 little city. Also, the farmland around here is phenomenal, so to be able to do that farm to fork so easy definitely helps with the food.
And the final $1 million question, where do you guys and how do you guys choose where you want to go out to eat?
And I think for me it's based on mood. My favorite restaurant changes every week, so I always have a restaurant of the week, and this week it happens to be Tiki Sushi because he's got oysters, and I'm oyster obsessed at the moment.
Yeah, it's pretty much what mood I'm in. One question that I don't hate, but that I always get asked, that I never know how to answer is, what's your favorite restaurant, because it really switches based on what I'm feeling at that moment. I know one that I would say as close as possible as a go-to would be Marathon Ethiopian, which I absolutely love. It's inexpensive, the flavors are amazing, and the owner, I just really like the owner as well. He's a nice guy.
That's awesome. Do you guys use your own website when you're choosing?
Yeah, well, I think it's all right here, our database.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today to join us in studio, guys. I'm Alana Wills. You've been watching 3 Minutes with Pina and Adriano from Windsor Eats.
Windsor and his